He will never allow it to cool off. A lot of people listen to these prophecies and they always say, oh, prophecy is conditional. Some prophecy is conditional. Not all of it. Not all of it. Some prophecy simply is what it is. It's simply a statement that will come upon the one who has gone to fetch water on the backside of the desert. In other words, the one who has gone to enrage God to the point where he will now make what is known as a proclamation against you. And then he's not going to take it back. This is why we went through, for instance, the November 2024 time period, and a lot of Americans were elated. We have made the prophecies of Celestial fail, they said. It was a false prophecy, they said. She lied, they said. And all God said was, nothing has changed. They instigated for a king they shall receive, and yet the judgment remains upon them. People of wisdom who watched those old prophecies concerning the coming of a female president, if you remember every detail in those prophecies, you will see that not only are we in the details of those prophecies, but speaking for myself, we are moving at a pace that is much too fast into the fulfillment of those things. It is like exchanging a queen for a king on the same chessboard where you were losing anyway. Saw this week 7 executive orders signed in one afternoon. The ones that concerned me most were directed against a law firm. I have never seen an executive order, which is basically the full power of the state. The power of the state that does not even involve a conversation with Congress. This is going above Congress's head. Executive orders, okay, of the executive of the presidential office, they exist for situations where the emergency is so dire, or where the need, the issue on the table is so great that the executive decides we can't wait for due process. We can't wait for the lower house and the Senate to sit and thrash this thing out in session after session until they finally get to a cohesive set of rules that they put down, and then they vote and then they pass it. The executive order is a last resort situation. For instance, if there was to be, God forbid, a sudden outbreak of Ebola, nobody has time to wait for Nancy Pelosi and friends, Chuck Schumer and friends, Speaker Johnson and friends to sit down and sessionize themselves until they finally agree on the best way to handle the Ebola outbreak. We're going to pass this rule. We're going to pass this bill. It's the wash your hands bill. It's the don't talk to anyone before you catch Ebola bill. Nobody has time for that. Obviously, they're going to put emergency measures into place because that's a dire situation. Is it a dire situation to want to punish one law firm that did something to you in the time of your life when you were down and the Democrats were up, and now that you're up, you take the state mechanism, which is very sharp. Those of you who never studied political science, you never did law, you never did economics,